Mob Psycho's so good. Okay, quick context. I remember it was like a solid few years back when my friend was like, "Hey, didn't you watch Mob Psycho?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I did, but I never got a chance to finish it." He's like, "Yo, you should really finish it. It's pretty good." I was like, "Yeah, you know what? You're right. I should."
7 years later.
Oh shit! Oh, why did I not watch this? It's so good. But before I get into how great this anime is, let me first at least tell you the story. What is the story first starting out with Master Reagan as well as Mobb, right? So both of them are running like a spiritual consultation place where they help get spirits get released, and they basically fight spirits for people that are like are in trouble, whether it be a back massage spirit or maybe it be a biker gang spirit out there that they may have to exercise over their cases. And at first it seems like Master Reagan is the main character, as well as he's the one supposed to take care of the spirits, but as quickly as you see, he's a fucking fraud. And Mobb is the one that's actually insanely powerful and the one that can't exercise these spirits. Oh yeah, two more incredibly important details. One, he's lying to Mobb about him having spiritual powers and saying like he's like the best, and he just makes him do the work because he wants him to be stronger. And two, oh yeah, he pays him. That's actually a good thing. Wait, how much does he actually pay him? Okay, let me do my Googles. And 300 yen converted into USD. That is about Oh yeah, he's going to hell. But getting into one of the many things why I really love this show and why I think it really shines well is like, one, the comedy, right? Now, realistically, comedy can be obviously subjective in how the way you look at it and stuff like that. But the thing is it's also from a different country, and that could be having like different cultural differences in the way that it's looked at or the way that it's seen from others and their point of view. And sometimes it can be universal, and in this case, it's fucking universal as shit. The comedy in this show is actually flat out hilarious. From also calling each other out for being real fucking pieces of garbage.
I don't feel any spiritual power coming from this guy at all. That idiot Shigeo is totally getting used by him.
Or just the hilarious one-shotting capabilities that people get one-shotted.
Anti-Esper! Drop kick! Hypnosis punch!
With also having the similarity a little bit of feeling like a little bit like One Punch Man, but I heavily prefer this over One Punch Man. No shots at One Punch Man, I really do love One Punch Man, but this, it really just feels like it puts it over the edge. And with the main driving force of the show and why I really love it so much is the characters. The characters itself makes it feel so much more than what it is. With certain characters having such strong, unique, and crazy abilities, but also having to be so grounded at the same time, making them almost feel like what they truly are, which is human. Then with other characters, it feels like he's giving you so little but so much at the same time that you have a really good grasp or understanding on who this person is and what they are and what their motivations are and who they are as a person.
Spoilers!
Starting off with one of the characters, Reagan. Now Reagan is honestly a piece of garbage, like a real true human piece of waste. He lies, cheats, scams people with the belief of saying, hey, a spirit is on you, or a spirit is taking over your house or taking over your life. Oh, I know a way to get rid of it. Where either it actually being a spirit in a location and having Mobb deal with it himself, because obviously he can't do anything because he doesn't have actual genuine powers, or he just tries to give them a massage, basically saying, oh, the spirit is released or the spirit is gone, or the case is. Which oddly happens a lot for some odd reason. Then he underpays his part-time workers, which we already seen before. And just the simple fact of him just lying to his little kid and basically using him to do all his work for him. But some of the points I will give him is like, he does it in such a sly, sneaky way that I have to somewhat admire how he does it. I'm like, alright, you got me. You know what? You sort of finesse the situation. Or he just flat out gets extremely fucking lucky in a whole bunch of scenarios where it's like, wow, yo, you must be extremely lucky, huh? Like, what the fuck? And the thing is with Reagan, he knows he's a piece of work. He knows he's a piece of garbage. And that sort of gets revitalized or re-realized after Mobb leaves him, and the sense of him just going away for a while. He realized that he actually needed him, and realistically, Mobb really saved him instead of him helping Mobb or him saving Mobb. And to honestly give Reagan at least some type of credit, there are times where his true self truly comes out. The Reagan that he wants to even be at the end of the day, or he's at least attempting to be from time to time. Like for example, when there's a family of ghosts that have to be exorcised, but Reagan doesn't want to do it because they're just harmless, a ghost family. They haven't really done anything to anybody, so he doesn't tell Mobb to do it, and he would never tell Mobb to actually go ahead and hurt someone that's not hurting anyone else. Or the times where he wants to get Mobb to safety, like he doesn't want him to fight or him to go do something because he knows he's sort of a little bit unstable, and he doesn't want him to actually go out and on a limb and hurt people.
When things go south, it's okay to run away and save yourself!
And then there's also the last thing that's in the show that really, in my opinion, shows Reagan's attempt of changing and his sort of big turning point, if anything, with him honestly going out to Mobb and being like, hey, I'm gonna be honest, I am not a master of anything, I'm just a regular guy, and I lied to you the whole time. So showing like the big turnaround in sort of his character of like, hey, I want to be a good person, I want to change, I want to fully commit to it. Now I know and I understand that he still has his business where he has spirits here and there, but by the way it's conveyed, it seems like he wants to have a better tomorrow. Then there's also Mobb's brother, who was in the first season that we get a lot more into, and he's sort of almost focused on, because I feel like with a lot of other characters in the show, it's like the same coin but different side, just like with him and his brother, or maybe him and the main antagonist of the show, or maybe him and his first antagonist that he goes through. But for this example, it really just shows with him and his brother about him having everything except for powers, and then as well as Mobb having the powers but nothing really else, in a way almost showing that you can really have everything in life, but even with everything you can still feel like you have nothing, especially when you have a goal or you have something that you would like to do. If you don't reach that fulfillment, you feel like you have nothing, or everything that you've done up until that point means nothing. And sort of in the same breath, a little bit connected to the antagonist of everything, right? Because then with the antagonist, he goes for this goal and he doesn't care about anything else. He doesn't care about his wife, he doesn't care about his kid, he doesn't care about anything realistically, but except for getting the goal of world domination. And he has so much other things going for them, so much other things that he has in his life that he just doesn't care for, doesn't really pay mind to, because if he feels like it's not important to him, when realistically it's his whole world. And in some ways showing that it's never too late, even if you again get to the point where you're not really speaking anymore to either your significant other or even your kid, it might be still a chance at the end of the road of, hey, I'm able to have a family or at least a decent connection or relationship with this person, instead of just giving it all up. Which, funny enough, that actually happens when he thinks about exploring himself and like doing another selfish act, instead of actually thinking about everyone else around him and, like, you know, being with his family. When the last few seconds he's like, you know what, I want to actually be with them, let me just get out of here. And last and certainly not least is fucking Mobb, right? Mobb, he's just a walking trauma bomb, if anything. With him, when he had hurt his younger brother as a kid, he wanted to separate half of himself, or his emotions and powers as a whole, and wanted to really suppress it because he didn't want to hurt anyone else, which is something that's like almost hinted and pointed at like throughout the whole show. Another reason why I do love the show, just a quick side note, is just like the callbacks of like all the way from season 1 to season 2 to season 3, seeing how everything sort of connects and nothing is like really pointless. With Mobb honestly feeling like a layered cake in a way, with so many things that like you sort of see with him. Like, one, you see Mobb and it's like he's not normal, he's like not a normal kid, and I'm not talking about in the sense of powers, of the sense of his emotions. He's not really conveying that much emotions when he does things or say things or when he acts, and there are some people that are naturally like that, but almost feels like or seems like a cry for help in a way, trying to solve his issues and problems the best way he can, sort of just like sealing and shutting himself away from everything. Then there's the other layer to it where it feels like with Mobb and his trauma and how it can honestly hurt others around you, not just yourself, but everyone that is around you that attempts to help you. And then also the people that are there for you when you do have those traumatic or trauma experiences, that want to be your friend and still love you no matter what or who you are. And lastly, to even be able to know peace and know peace at mind, you have to know peace within yourself first. It always starts with yourself. It can't start with anyone else. It can't start with your friends, your family. You yourself have to want to do it. You yourself have to want to find that peace and acceptance for yourself. One more thing, sorry, I wanted to add this in post. Like, I finished the video, but I wanted to add this in. I almost completely forgot about it, but thank goodness I remembered. But the thing I was gonna say was that also I love the animation, and always, oh my goodness, I always say that I love the animation, I understand, but this time, for this reason alone, for some reason it's beautiful and ugly at the same time. It's befugly, if you will. I love it so much. Like, it has times where it goes like insane with the animation, more or less, and then there's times where it feels like I'm watching an Adult Swim animation, and that's not like a diss or again disrespect to it, but like it's in a good way for both of them, because obviously I grew up on Adult Swim and I love almost all the animations on there, even the more crazy ones. And the last thing honestly I want to talk about is like the direction of the show or whether cases, because I do feel like I've seen a few comments or seen a few things that people have said here and there about how sort of like it ends or sort of how it is as a whole. Maybe even at seeing comments at the end of season 1 or people's opinions on it. Like I feel like it's always been shown or known that the action or all the things that happens, right, in the terms of the fighting is like a back burner thing. Like it's almost third fiddle, not even second fiddle. I feel like the characters come first, then it's comedy, then it's like fighting almost to a certain degree, right? Because you feel like you get to know the character, you feel like you get to know who they are, what they are as a person. The comedy's always there, and then the action's there. But you see a lot of times people get one-shotted or people go down in a very unexpected or funny way. For example, in season 1 where Reagan gets all of Mobb's powers for that last scene's finale moment, it's something that's completely unexpected and almost is pretty funny realistically, pretty much showing you from the start that hey, this isn't like really an action thing, this is really like almost like in-depth character type of thing. And not to say like there's no action or the action isn't enough. They give you a shit ton of fucking action, they give you a shit ton of good and cool fucking fights of memorable shit happening all the time from season 2, whether it be the final boss fight that happens, as well as all the people fighting at third best Esper. Like that was super hype as shit. But again, it's not the main focus, and it never was the main focus. So by the end of it, when you see Mobb truly become himself and truly conform into who he truly is as a person and have acceptance and moving past his trauma, and you see him actually pop a laugh, a genuine laugh and smile, it actually makes you happy in the end.
What do you mean we?
Well, at least me. Okay, well, at least me. Goodness gracious. But thank you guys for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next one. Goodbye. Peace.